Hey Proxies! With the release of Evelyn Chevalier, the new A-Ranked announced for Zenless, this is the perfect opportunity to talk why A-Ranks are so much better in Zenless. When I started playing ZZZ, I noticed something was different with the constellations, or mindscapes as they are called in this game. Mindscapes 3 and 5 changed something that has been a staple in Genshin's constellation. You see, in Genshin's constellations 3 and 5 give 3 levels for either the elemental skill or 3 levels to the burst, and in some rare occasions it replaces one of them with 3 levels for the auto attack. In ZZZ, Mindscapes 3 and 5 instead gives 2 levels, but to every single skill. So you get 2 levels on basic attack, dodge, assist, special, and ultimate. This has some interesting implications. First, for most characters, some skills are better than others. So in Genshin, it is common for one of the constellations to be much weaker than the other, which is clearly not the case in Zen. Secondly, the amount of skill points is also much higher since the player is getting 10 total points for each mindscape. But yes, each individual skill point isn't as strong since Zenless has 5 skills instead of 3, and each individual level is also less important since Zenless has 12 levels per skill as opposed to the 10 in Genshin. But when you add both mindscapes, they give 4 levels for every skill. This makes the overall effect much stronger than their Genshin counterpart. Now, where do A-Ranks come into all that? At this point, everything I talked about applies to every character, not just A-Rank. Let's talk about what is different between A-Ranks and S-Ranks that interact with mindscapes. First, A-Ranks are simple, usually requiring mindscapes to fill out their kits, unlike S-Ranks, which usually come out fully working out of the box, having mindscapes just adding damage and sometimes quality of work. A good example of this is Lucy M2, making her able to share a massive buff with chain attacks, heavily changing how Lucy is played. A-Ranks are also cheaper and easier to acquire. They show up more often in banners, the drop rate is also much higher, and they get added into the permanent account, making having their mindscapes common for any developed account. So the expectation is that sooner rather than later, most players should be getting them. All of this combined have a few benefits for A-Ranks compared to their Genshin counterpart. By adding more overall power into M3 and M5, it's easier to make A-Ranks more viable relative to S-Ranks. What this means is that A-Ranks will be competing with S-Ranks with a large level advantage, 16 to 12 respectively, which allows A-Ranks to close the distance. So when you look at the skills in most S-Ranks, you should compare a level 12 skill with a level 16 skill in A-Ranks. And while obviously this changes nothing for S-Ranks full of mindscapes, for the majority of players, it does. Something that is very important to notice is that by upgrading every skill, this severely affects on-field A-Rank, because on-field characters generally take advantage of their full kit, not just special and ultimate. That means that damage dealers like Billy or the new fire attacker Evelyn can get much closer in damage to their S-Rank counterpart. This makes A-Ranks very attractive. So while M0 Jane is very strong, AM6 Piper is also very strong. Anton is very playable, and as far as I'm concerned, seeing some people complain on Reddit that Harumasa is an M7 Anton just makes me happy, since that is where I like the balance of the game to be. Yes, S-Ranks should be the stronger option, but having A-Ranks be usable in a non-contrived way, where we as players can confidently build them and know they can do the job as well, is something that can only be considered a great success by the ZZZ team. Well, this is how I see the mindscape changes in ZZZ. Tell me what you think about it below. Subscribe and give it a like if you liked it and want to see more of this kind of content. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.